Sasa hii mi naona nimechanganikiwa. But when you look at me, mi siwezi I'm never confused at all.
Mambo vipi? Karibu sana to the Full Goes to School podcast. Mimi naitwa Duncan. Leo tunaongea about democracy. Now, why is it important to talk about democracy? Ni because foundations do matter. Foundations create a stability yenye ni very important for growth, right? Now, Kenya is a democratic country and we value everyone participating in the political process, everyone voting and everyone deciding who should be in charge of the country. No contest. I believe that it should be everyone's right. Yeah? But how is that done? And should it be done a certain way? The answer is yes. Now, a brief history. Democracy is an outgrowth of philosophy from ancient Greece. Yeah? Now, the fathers of philosophy, or rather a few of the founding fathers of philosophy, walikuwa very skeptical or pessimistic about democracy. Socrates, one of the fathers, sijui which spelling people use, so I'll use Socrates. Socrates alikuwa skeptical about democracy. Na alikuwa anasema it's because when it's not watched, ina lead to demagoguery. Yeah? Now, Socrates alikuwa napeana this scenario. Na alikuwa naongea na someone called Adeimantus. This is in the Dialogues of Plato, book 6. Alikuwa nasema hivi to Adeimantus. Now, if you're going on a journey, right, by sea, who would you rather be in charge of the ship? Would you rather it be a random person or someone experienced in seafaring? Adeimantus, of course, an answer, I'd rather it be someone experienced. As would I, hata mimi ningetaka hivyo, right? So Socrates akamuuliza, if you would rather it be someone experienced, then is it not more important for the running of a country iachwe to also people who are more experienced? That is, the decision to choose who's going to be in charge of a country, is it not then important equal to people who are experienced? Now, hii haimaanishi that inafaa ati alikuwa na believe voting and participation should be done by a select few, by elites ama technocrats, chosen ones. Hakuwa na believe kitu kaa hiyo, but alikuwa na believe that voting and participation is only effective if left to people who've deeply thought about issues of society, deeply thought about governance, deeply thought about leadership and all the affairs that are involved in that, because kuna very many issues na kuna kuanga na complex interactions zenye zina lead into what we call a good society and a well-run country, right? So alikuwa na believe that it should be by people who've deeply thought about these issues, who've educated themselves and who are knowledgeable, right? So in essence, democracy inafaa kuwa an intellectual democracy rather than a democracy by birthright. And let's circle back to Kenya. Kenya, we have mostly a democracy by birthright, which means that kila mtu ako guaranteed a vote whether you know what you're talking about or not. Ukifika 18, immediately you get a voter's card. Your vote is as good as the other person's, right? Which is okay, as long as iko backed up by a good education system that educates people about the values and that gives people the wisdom to be able to make good decisions, right? But now that's where it breaks down, because our education system is terrible. Is terrible. As far as these issues are concerned, then hakuna a system yenye inatusaidia, inatupea the knowledge and the wisdom to be able to make good decisions. Hatuna the understanding to be able to vote in good leaders and to be able to make good decisions. That was the issue with Socrates, and that's the problem with democracy, in that it needs to be an intellectual democracy. Because Socrates alikuwa anapeana hii scenario. 2 candidates are running. You have a candy shop owner and you have a doctor. Now, the candy shop owner aseme huyu msee anawapeanga vitu chungu, ana restrict lifestyle zenyu, anawambia kitu ya kukula, kitu ya kukunywa, manze ni taabu tu na this guy all the time. How does the doctor defend himself? Atajitetea aje against, you know, what the candy shop owner said? Because akisema, yes, my work ina involving some level of pain, but it's for your own good, hakuna mtu atamsikiza. So in such a system, we always end up with candy shop owners as opposed to doctors, even though the doctor has more knowledge in that scenario. Huku Kenya, what we have and what we've been having, and that's why we keep complaining that the system is broken, that we have a problem, that corruption, what, ni because yetu ni a system of candy shop owners. Ni a system of promises where we believe, where people who are voted in ni wale wenye tumewawe based on the fanciest sounding promises, the best sounding promises, zile zenye zitatubamba the most. You get? Those are the people we elect. Not because we've thought about the issues, not because we know what needs to be done, and not even because they know what needs to be done. You know, so sisi wote, both the people electing and the elected, we are both super ignorant about what it takes to make this country great. And it's always going to be like that as long as tuko na hii system. As long as we don't educate ourselves on what matters, we'll always have this system. But if we decide today that we're going to start educating ourselves on what is important, then immediately I think we're going to start seeing changes, because it's not about them, it's about us. And once we change, then it'll reflect in the kind of people we get there. So thank you very much for listening to my rant about democracy. And I believe that is the foundation for everything. Once we sort out our foundations, as far as kuondoa to our ignorance of what can make this country great and what makes good societies tick, then we're off to a good start. Na inaweza start with this cycle, interrogating what these guys are saying, interrogating the kind of knowledge they have, because we took on too many idiots in the pond. Now, honestly, most of them need to go, because hawatusaidii na hatutasaidika. Actually, kuna bad long-term consequences the longer this goes on. So thank you very much. This has been Full Goes to School. Peace.